Friday, everyone. I'm Ann Birchard. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm pretty much going to die cut out this entire card. So let's get making to a card. Here's the outside, cute little inside, no naked envelopes. I am using Many Messages, the Happy Birthday with the matching die, Pierced Blooms, and In Bloom. And I am going to be using every single one of these dies except for the ribbon, the stem, and the label. But you could always use the label if you don't have the Many Messages. Let's start with bringing in the big shot, not the big shot, the Cut and Emboss, the Big Boss. And I'm going to start with the leaves. Old Olive, sorry, one more time. Granny Apple Green and Mellow Moss. And look, they're just scraps. Hang on to those scraps. I'm going to rip this off so I don't have to worry about it catching on anything. Place it down. Rip these off as well. That way I can load up all these different die cuts and minimize the amount of cranking I have to do. All right, carefully, and set that aside. I know I want all the leaves, so there's a leaf. And the nice thing is, there's two. Grab them. That will also minimize how many times you have to run this through the Big Shot. This guy, grab these two, set that on. And it really doesn't matter which color you're using. Whatever you think is going to look good. I know there's a couple other leaves here, these big ones. Put two in there. Put a couple more on the Mossy Meadow cardstock. And even if it doesn't quite fit, don't worry about it, because you can tuck underneath the other flowers. I'm going to bring in So Saffron and a couple of the centers and the little center. See how I'm loading up? So with one pass through the Cut and Emboss, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these dies will be done. Okay, I'm just checking to make sure I'm not missing any of the leaves. Nope. How much space do I have left over? Oh, I have a little space here. Let's grab some purple posy, and it's okay if it hangs off. And I can grab some flowers. Those little ones, and let's see, I think I'll do this guy. Okay, I think we're good. Slide that back in, and my top plate is underneath. Set this on top. Oh, this came off a little bit. Okay, keep that on. Top plate. Now the Cut and Emboss machine is ANN proof. It tells you exactly what you need for sandwiches. What do I mean by sandwich? Well, for die cuts, you need platform 1, 2, 3. Then you put down your project in the die, and then throw your dies on the floor. And then another cutting mat, number 3, on top. I'm going to place all these dies where I can find them without having to look too far. And I won't lose them. Okay, a couple of these you notice didn't pop out. I'll show you how to get those out. There's another one. And then all these die cuts, save the paper, I'm going to place right over here so I don't lose them. And this is getting your money out of your cardstock. Save every little bit. Okay, there's the centers. Oh, that one disappeared. Okay, and then more flowers. And all I'm doing is creating piles on my workspace of the different flowers, the centers, and the leaves. Take your pick tool with the stylus end, pokey end, as my daughter calls it. There are release holes on the back of all dies. And you just gently poke through and it pushes it out of the die. Add that to my leaf collection over here. Poke them out and it releases. Last one, and we'll get some more flowers going here. There we go. Set that aside. Okay, now let me bring in some gorgeous grape. And lovely. And it looks like I can fit these three little ones in there. I'm going to bring in some Highland Heather. And I can fit, I think, these two on there. Maybe this one. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm just making space for, this is Purple Posy, and I'm going to cut down Purple Posy. Oh wait, do I have some? Nope. There we go. Beautiful. Look at that. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 more flowers to figure out space. Let me cut these through. And those last 4 I will do on the Purple Posy. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and text ANNBIRCHARD, all one word, all caps, to number 22828 to receive my monthly newsletter with tips, tricks, and techniques, and any specials that Stampin' Up! May have. And if you sign up, I will send you for free a new in color ink pad of your choice. All right, let's grab this. I need him. And I just need these 4. Be stingy with my paper here. And the last one. Look, those are the only 3 I have not used. Place the number 3 cutting pad back on top. Crank it through. And back again. Take all these dies off. Oh, here's one. Poke it from the back side through the release holes. And set that aside. Take those off the cutting mat. And if you have extras of these flowers, you can easily decorate the inside instead of stamping. All right, all done with the Cut and Emboss. Set that aside. Put all the dies away. And now I'm going to bring in basic white, and I cut this at 5 by 3 3/4. And I'm going to lay out kind of a dry fit, if you will. All my flowers, you want them overlapping. And the idea is I'm going to have it cascade from the top down to the bottom. So it's going to get smaller at the bottom. And just start layering. I want it to fall off the edge a bit. And I'll show you here in a minute how much we want it to fall off and how much we don't want it to fall off. Tuck him into there. Need some purple to break that up. And I'm just eyeballing and playing with this. There's no real design. I'm going to save a couple of these little ones to place on top of the sentiment. But otherwise they can go in here. I have 2 of these. Here's where I want my sentiment, so I don't want to cover up the little guys. This is the time to go ahead and arrange it where you want it. I think I kind of want to switch these two. Again, tuck, laid out. There's no right or wrong. You're the artist. I like that. Okay, calling it good. Now, bring in your card base. This is Highland Heather. I cut it at 5 1/2, score at 4 1/4, or just fold it in half. Give it a good crease. Not on top of your scissors, because that's not a good crease. Bring in my bone folder here. Now what you want to do is carefully slide your card base underneath. Why am I doing this? Because you don't want these flowers outside your card. Otherwise it won't fit into the envelope. Now you just have to go back and trim it or get a bigger envelope. That'll solve that problem. And I think I'm gonna call that good. This guy can come out. Good, I'm calling it good. Now, run to your kitchen. Seriously, run to your kitchen, grab the press and seal. This is not a paid endorsement whatsoever. Rip off a sheet and place it over. If you don't have press and seal, take a picture with your phone or just lift them up individually, the flowers, to glue them. I like doing this because it's nice and simple. Flip it over, take this off carefully, set that aside, and then we're going to carefully take off the basic white, and the flowers should stay perfectly. And then you can come in with your Tombow monoliquid glue, and I'm just putting it in the center of the flowers. The reason being, when I'm done with this, I'm going to be tucking in the leaves, and this allows me to slide it under, and I don't have to worry about running into glue. Dot dot not a lot, as my daughter's kindergarten teacher taught her, and that has stuck with me. And with the glue, you will have time to manipulate. Okay, I'm gonna set this down. Whoops. And commit. Okay, squish, squish. Rip this off. Not rip it off, take it off gently. And you can fold this up, keep it in your craft room, and continue to reuse it. Oops. There. Set that aside. And then one more check to make sure nothing's hanging over too much. This little one needs to go back. Okay. We are good. Let's add some stems, leaves, and some centers. Let's go with this guy. Dot, dot, not a lot. You want to have some white space, but it's nice. Oops, where am I going? But it's nice to have this green as well. Here's a good one. They're all good ones. Tuck this down here. This little guy does not want to stay. We'll make sure he stays now. And some of these broadleaves. Just slide that under. Another one. Let's go this way. A little different. And tuck under there. Make sure it's tucked far enough in. I don't have to trim them off at the end. Let's see. Yep, that looks good. And then I think I'll call that quits. And all these extra ones, save them for the inside of your card, save them for another project. All right, let's put on some centers. And this is the So Saffron. And last one. Oops. Take your pick, the putty side. Make sure it gets in there. All right. Save those, save those, save those. Set that aside for just a minute. Now, up in the right-hand corner is a link to the video where I show you how I made the many messages, and I'm going to be using the happy birthday. I have gone through, I have stamped in white on black, black on very vanilla, and black on basic white. So I can go through, flip through, and I want my happy birthday. I probably passed it. Whoops. Hey, look. Where to go? There it is. Happy birthday. And these are just the clear envelopes. Quick and easy. How about that? I can put that back. And I'm going to be using dimensionals. A lot of dimensionals on the back. Okay. Take take off the release paper. Set this right about here. My T-ruler. Make sure that is nice and level going across. There. This guy needs to go in. I cut him, might as well use it. There we go, pretty. And then this little guy, come on. If you have tweezers, grab them. And it won't stick to your finger. And I'm gonna put it, I want it down here, I'll put them right here. Hold it down just a bit. Okay. Again, I'm gonna set this aside just for it to dry a little bit. I have extra pieces. I can make another card. And while that's drying, I'm going to bring in this flower and this center, and I'm going to stamp the envelope and the inside. Set that aside with So Saffron ink and block C. Put that more in the center. Stamp down here in the corner of the inside, and then stamp a couple. I stamped off on that one. There we go. For the envelope, bring in the center, close this because my finger will automatically go in it. Gorgeous grape for the center. So I've just reversed the flowers on the outside, just so you can see the flower and the center. And stamped off. There. Wipe it with my chamois. Put that aside and close this back up. Set those aside. Bring back in your base. Let's use our Stampin' Seal. And I have it someplace hiding. Place this on the inside of our card. If the top and sides are equal, I know the bottom will be just fine. Okay, I can set the card aside. Let's take this, carefully flip it over, and let's go crazy with the Stampin' Dimensionals. You don't want your card to be squished when it goes through the mail, so you have to be a little generous with the Stampin' Dimensionals. You can also use the strips, that would work too. But since I have these out, that's what I'm going to use. Set those aside, take off the release paper. I think that does it. Yep. Okay. Let's line this up. Top, bottom, looks good. Commit. Well, we can't be done with that. We need some bling. Where are my rhinestones? I just had them. They're hiding. Yes, I have a lot of rhinestones because I love rhinestones. Let's go crazy. Remember, odd numbers. I'm going to use the Take Your Pick, the putty side. Squish and flick it off. And I'm going to go nuts. In an odd numbering, going nuts. One, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do a little 7. And done. All right, I'm calling it good. There you go. A beautiful card that's going to go to my cousin, Kelly. I'm glad this will be posted after your birthday. Otherwise, I would have ruined the surprise. So happy birthday, Kelly. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this crafting experience with a civil engineer, and I'll see you next week. Bye.